Happy Godzilla Day, November 3rd, 2023. In 1 year, it will be 70 years since Godzilla has reigned supreme in theaters in over 35 movies. I don't know, a bunch of them, nearly 40 movies now. Cool thing is, today's subject isn't this one. This is a 30 centimeter X Plus Godzilla 1993, one of my absolutely favorite figures I've ever obtained and repainted in my collection. But if you notice, there's something bigger here. Much bigger here. This is the INOUE Arts Godzilla 1954. This is the guy that brought it all to us. This big dude, massive scale character. When you see him in scale with this, look at this, look at that. That's a 30 centimeter next to him. This massive guy is nearly 20 inches tall. This was a major grail piece for me. It took me 30 years to get. Then X Plus released a remolding of it that you could buy for about $700 or $800 when it was new. After I'd done all this work, let me tell you what I mean by that. This guy here, we're going to move Mr. 93 sadly out of the way. There you go, buddy. This isn't your show today. It's his show. This model I got off eBay a couple of years ago. Cool thing about it was I'd been trying to get one and they were $500, $600, $700. And that was years ago on eBay. That was, you know, a reasonable time ago. This guy sold for $170 because of one major problem. He didn't have legs. From about right here to his feet, this piece, both of them were missing. Yes, that means I sculpted the legs, and that is a feat I'm rather proud of. I had to match the detailing that was already present in this model, which is an amazing sculpt, and still one of my favorite Godzilla 54s ever released. And I had to match this doggone thing. I took wires and attached the feet. Thank God I had the feet. Built it up with I don't know, it seemed like I had tin foil and paper and Kleenex, God knows whatever I had. Then I did layers of epoxy putty. This is all two-part epoxy. Got my rough form shaped in. Now, my only mistake, and I found this out later, was that there's a little more fat right here. It protruded more in the front of the legs than I gave it. But I kind of like the more trim ankles. I think it makes his feet look cool, and I love that. I like the big old clunky feet. And I think I matched it up pretty well. I had to match wrinkle for wrinkle, bump for bump. All this stuff is little rolled pieces of epoxy putty that I came back and attached. And then of course I painted everything to match. So once he was made and built, really proud of the bony back plates, the blending, all that's done by hand. I do not use an airbrush. So the paint on this guy took me a month or so to do. It was a lot of work. A lot of work. When you get a grail like this, you don't play around. A grail piece is something that means something to you. And I had seen this one in Hobby Japan in 1989. It was the one that had Batman stuff in it when 89 Batman came out. And of course the 89 Godzilla came out. And I got that Hobby Japan magazine, and somewhere in the back was an ad or two that had this thing unpainted with cigarette packs next to it. And I just said, oh my God, that looks too cool. I'm going to have a giant Godzilla. Well, I thought that thought for 30 years. So when I got this guy, I savored it. I savored it. Now look at the mouth. Look at the gums and the teeth and the eyes. I wanted his eyes to look like they did in the movie, you know, but not real clean. I didn't want white eyes with black pupils. I wanted like bloodshot, you know, nasty, angry Godzilla, you know, just like he's looking down at us and just, are going to get us all. I wanted death incarnate, And I savored those eyes and savored the colors. I think I used a Panzer gray with black. I dirtied him with all kind of earth tones. Got the dirt in the cracks, by the way. I didn't paint him dark and dry brush with lights. I figured the details were there. I did the reverse. I let the dust and dirt get in the cracks. And no, he's not dusty. That's all paint. I know because I spent 30 minutes dusting him. That's all painted to be in the cracks. The highlights are dark, like where the costume or rubber or paintwork had been rubbed and cleaned. So now he doesn't have the webbing in the fingers. I thought of coming back and adding that. But I'm like, right now I'm not worried about it. I think this was the second or third release of the INOUE kit. But I'm so glad to have it. It was a brown, thick vinyl model. And I thought no better way than to celebrate Godzilla Day than with really the finest incarnation of Godzilla ever done. I mean, we all have favorites, and it may not be the 54. I mean, I like the 93. But the 54 Godzilla is Godzilla, He is the big G. He is, the stuff of nightmares. He is the one that started it all. So I end with this note. I'm very proud of this model. It did show up in Godzilla G-Fan magazine. It was in an issue sometime back. I've forgotten the issue number. Actually, I have it right here. It was, there he is. And it was the issue with this Godzilla on the cover. And that illustrator, by the way, is the guy that sold me the model. Come on, what issue is this? Let's look at that and see. Number 127, spring of 2020. So I thank this guy. I'll always be grateful. He really is a good artist, too. Great cover. But I wrote a letter to J.D. Lee's of that magazine, and they included the photo and the story. So if you want more details on the story, get that issue. It's a good magazine anyway. I love JD, and I love the magazine. I love everything G-Fan stands for. So I celebrate Godzilla. I celebrate G-Fan magazine, G-Fan, G-Fest, all that cool stuff. I celebrate Godzilla in any form he's in. It is Godzilla Day, so by golly, there's no way to go wrong. Even the 93 is just, let's rock. So have a great Godzilla Day, and I wish I could make Godzilla's roar. I'm not going to fake it. But just have a great one, and next year, he's 70 years old. We'll have something then too. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, comment. Feel free to comment, ask questions, like how'd you do these crazy legs? Yes, I might sculpt my own Godzilla. I've got a design I'd like to do sometime. But I'll leave that for another day in another video. So until now, till then, I'll see you guys in Godzilla heaven.